some communication with,
Go ahead.
I did have some communication with Carla this week by email. I asked her, she sent me what was supposed to be my new lease. And at the top of the sample form she sent me, it said Shapiro site lease. I sent you guys a copy of that email.
Yes.
That had the word Shapiro in the top line. And I asked her outright, I said, I have a couple questions. One of which is, where is my original security deposit presently? And two, I said, why is Shapiro Group mentioned in the header of your email? Do you work for them or what? And she said that she has my security deposit in hand from Shapiro, and that the lease template is a software program, and it was integrated from what Shapiro was going to be using, and the name had not been changed on the form, and that's why it said that. She says, I do not work for Shapiro, I only work for the owner. So that was her answer to that. As far as the lease she sent me, it was a mess. She had the wrong dates on it. She had it dated for last year, not this year. She still had two of my previous renters listed on it. Neither one of them lives there anymore. So she's going to fix that. And there's also a line item in there where they're supposed to indicate which institution or who is responsible for holding whomever has deposits on hold, where those are. And they had left that blank. I said, if you would please indicate also where that money is, I'd like to know. So, but that's all the further I've got with trying to get on a new lease with her so far.
Okay. Well, Janet and Brian and Steve independently sent a response to her when Sally responded to me, and I notified everybody. Janet and Steve sent a letter to her saying, you know, we don't feel comfortable emailing any payments to you because in the past, you know, we got it in the mail and that whole process, and why they didn't trust her because it had just come through an email and didn't feel it was a valid way to identify somebody and just mail off hundreds of dollars to. So then she came back and she's like, yeah, you know, Sally jumped in and she's like, yeah, this is the lady you're supposed to do it. Send the payments in to her in the mail for this month and next month. And then Janet and Steve came back and they're like, oh, hell to the no. We ain't mailing no payments out to nobody. You get the portal up and working and we will put our payments in there.
Yeah, and she has said a couple of times that supposedly they're trying to get that portal working in the month of May.
Yeah, but it shouldn't take 2 months to get the portal working. Why are they saying now? First she started out with May and now Sally's saying May and June.
And that's one of the things that she's been most wishy-washy on, because when I told her coming into the first of the month, I said, oh, you want a check, huh? I said, I don't, first of all, I don't have a checkbook. I'm gonna have to go to my bank, my credit union, which isn't anywhere near where I live, and get them to print me a set of desk checks to cut you a check. And then by the time it comes in the mail, I said, it's gonna be middle of the month before you get a check, just so you know. And then she was like, oh, no, we'll get the portal up and running, supposedly.
Well,
I'm sending you a photograph right now, Tammy, in your text or in the mass text that you'll get. You'll see it's got a bunch of trees in it, and then there's a Google address in the top left corner. The supposed office for this.
I know. We've looked at that. I know. It's just a little tiny like packaging place or something like that.
Yeah, this is the hard target address on the lease that she just sent me. When I look it up in Google Maps and go to Street View, this is the Street View.
That's their office. Oh, yeah. Shady Lane.
Yeah, Shady Dames and Shady Lanes.
Yeah.
And so I don't know. I think everybody's like really pissed off over the whole thing. So I'm trying to find my complaint letter that I got. I did file the complaint with the Mobile Home Oversight Committee, and they did send us some information there. Oh, Kim is asking, what's that?
Yeah.
Matt was sending us a picture of the mobile home, of the property owner's supposed office. So let me find that letter so I can ask you what they're asking here for. Because I didn't want to respond until I had a chance to clarify with everybody what was going on. And I get too many damn emails.
It must be something, because usually a management company signs a contract with the property owner, don't they?
Mm-hmm.
They probably left because they couldn't jack their rent up again.
Here it is.
Every time they knew one come in, they wanted to hike it up.
Okay, here's the first thing he asked. You mentioned your complaint form that you were concerned about dealing with a certified entity of the property owner. Can you provide the contact information such as name, address, and phone number? So that's when I was in Denver at the time I filed the complaint. So I'm out on Google trying to find this freaking Novell Properties or Communities, whatever the hell her name is. There's nothing like that. There's an HOA out there for an apartment house, but there's no business name with this Carla Jones's business on it. So I really didn't have that contact information at the time. So I'll go ahead and take the information off the signs that we have out here and provide that. And then second, has the park provided residents of any contact information for the park, such as emergency contact number, park owner name and address? And the only way we got that is because we got it from Amy out of Clear Creek County. He had never provided us with crap. He never wanted us to even know his name. And then
Yeah, the
Uh,
paper lease, even though it's gonna be corrected, yeah, the paper lease she sent me in
mhm,
terms of where they want to have payments mailed, for example, the address they're showing is the Greenwood Village address on Holly Street. And they're listing the business name as Empire Junction MHP, not Novell.
so what do we look it up then, since it's supposed to be a valid business that we can find in the email that she sent to Carrie or to Stephen, Janet? I can't remember where I seen it now.
Yeah,
And then the
the
second, and then one, let me get to the bottom, the next one here. Has the park provided you with any written lease?
Not me.
You mentioned in your complaint that the payment portal for rent is currently not accepting payment as it is in the process of being updated. I have alternative options for paying rent been provided. If not, residents been granted a grace period to pay rent while the portal is being updated. And then I listed all the people that we talked to about this, and put them down as respondents under the complaints. You listed the residents. Did you mean to list these individuals or as additional complainants? If these individuals are making the complaint with you, they would be complainants. In this case, we can update the information on the complainant form. We do need a name for and I need to get first and last name for Cassie because I couldn't remember what it was. So basically, that's what I need to respond to.
Okay.
So shall we take it from word one? I mean, go over one again. You mentioned in the complaint form, and I'll get the information off of the signs. And then two, has the park provided residents any contact information? Well, they did, but not in a professional manner because nobody feels confident sending off this check to this chick.
They're just supposed to send your registry letters to make sure you get it.
So how would you propose that we respond to that part? We never got a
Other these
written
people
notification.
Go online to figure it. The other part.
The contact information we have been given is confusing because they have what's supposed to be the Empire Junction manager email address, but then immediately they tell you, well, that doesn't work. And then she has been contacting me with this private email address, which is email@rentmanager.com. I should see if I look up rentmanager.com.
And should I say no concrete type of address?
Just that address I sent you the picture of, which is that address on South Holly Street, Greenwood Village.
Post office. Address.
Office, nor does the Better Business Bureau. Okay, so I have that we don't really have a good address, that Google just shows nothing. And there's no Better Business Bureau information on these people either.
That's interesting.
Yeah,
Do you have the address in its entirety for the Greenwood Village address?
I have the one that she sent in our email.
Which is what, is that the 5449 South Holly Street?
Yes. Yes.
Number
BTC.
3045.
Yep.
Okay. Like I say, when she provides that address on the form of the paper lease she's trying to get me to look at, they're naming the business as Empire Junction MHP.
And so that goes directly into number 4, because they really haven't provided us an alternative, or they say they are. We can't really validate that.
Seems shady.
And should I mention though that Clear Creek County told us to just pay it? They did.
I don't know. That's
Yeah,
that's
they
hard to
just-
say.
Clear Creek County said to just pay it, send it in the mail like the lady said.
Well, it's still, a lot of people feel uneasy about it, like you said,
Yeah,
people don't seem convinced. I don't feel very confident about the whole thing. I mean, she obviously didn't proofread the lease that she sent me, and it's supposed to be my new lease. She got the wrong year on it, for God's sake.
I'll say no one has gotten a lease. The one person who did, it was completely incorrect. Plus, when I looked at the mobile home park thing, they had some completely erroneous person listed as the mobile home park manager, and they're saying that our address is Empire Loop.
Well, Junction Loop.
Or no, I think it's at Empire Loop.
Oh, this is Junction.
Empire Junction. Yeah, I know, that one
Yeah,
that goes
yeah,
behind it.
Yeah. I
That's
always
not
just
our
put down
address,
Junction
though.
Loop Road.
But the.
Yeah,
in
two
the-
275 Junction Loop Road is what I was made to understand they consider to be the property address.
275?
275 Junction Loop Road, or
Mhm.
That's it, right?
possibly 275 County Road 257, possibly.
That's what I use, because that's what my post office box requires.
Yeah, that's what I've got listed at the post office, and that's what I've got on my DL, is 275 County Road 257.
And if you talk to Pope says we are most certainly not Loop, we are County Road.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but I'm just gonna say that none of us has a lease. One person got it and it was very, very egregiously wrong.
I put 275 route. 257 for a long time on mine.
Mhm.
Empire. I never put the Junction Loop Road down. Just County Road, 250.
I
Yeah,
can't remember
that's all I
who I
remember.
originally talked to about that. I think it was the utilities. When I talked to Excel, they didn't recognize the 275 County Road 257 address. They had the account for the cabin listed under that Junction Loop Road address. And then I think Peter from Tribe is actually the one who put that address as a valid address in Google Maps. I don't think it even existed before.
Yeah, it didn't, because that's the main reason I moved in this place, because when you pulled it up, it showed a meadow and people could not find me. And that's
Yeah.
why I said, okay, I'm living here.
I wish I was off the grid. The grid got a lot more expensive for me last year.
I know. Okay,
Yeah,
let's see. I'll just say everybody's gonna be the complainant, and I'll have to get Cassie's name.
Yeah, you can put my
You
name on
probably
there.
won't go for it, like you said.
Well, I'm putting it anyway.
If they need co-complainants, Tammy, yeah, you can, if I heard you right, you need your co-complainants listed. You can put my name and phone number on there for you if you need.
I put everybody's name on there, Matt. I took liberty because I was in Denver and we had all talked about it, so I put everybody's name that was in that meeting and sent it.
Excellent.
So I'll respond to this then. And I don't know what'll happen. I feel like Clear Creek County is mad at us now because we're making an uproar over the whole thing. Sally was not too friendly the last time I talked to her.
Well, I'll be frank. She and Amy, neither one of them returned either of my phone calls. I had
Right.
2 phone calls into each of them at the offices down there. Neither one of them bothered to call me back.
And
that
I
was
only get a response
middle of
if I
last
make
month.
multiple attempts. I have to keep on till I get in touch with them. I don't normally just make one phone call. And then they'll say, well, yeah, Matt just called too, now that you're calling. And,
No, I haven't tried to contact them since middle of last month, but for sure, neither one of them returned my initial phone calls.
I don't know what to say, other than well, to get on this complaint. And I don't think anybody's gonna save any money, and I told Kim not to send any money in either. I said, just save it right now until we can get it submitted on the portal.
Yeah, I honestly, I don't know what to think about. I was pretty sad to see that after all the hemming and hawing and going back and forth a month and a half about it now, that they sent me a lease that doesn't even have correct information on it, and I'll redo that. So, and I think everybody's correct to feel a little strange about it.
Right, and I can't believe that none of the other trailer courts haven't said anything about it. I can't believe we're the only people complaining. Especially after the way we've seen some of the people at the meeting. I can't believe that they're not raising hell like us now too.
Well, what kind of communication do you have with any of those? Who's the gal that was coordinating all that? I do have
a friend in the loop that I can reach out to. I've kind of tried to leave her out lately because they kind of pushed her out with the second process. You know, once the purchase started going on, she kind of got cut out of the loop. But I'm going to give Autumn a call and see what she has to say.
Oh yeah,
she was the one that tried
a lot of the other trailer courts.
Is she the one that was trying to set up that whole the whole 5-star thing in the first place?
Mm-hmm. And then they pushed her out.
Who's they?
Well, I'll say just Lisa.
And that's so there's still a 5-star consortium. It's just not Autumn that's the go
It
person.
Is there and it's being worked on, but Autumn is not as active in it anymore because of Amy and Lisa. Because her and Sally started the whole thing. And then when Amy came in and started the grant, then Lisa wanted to be the one working with Amy, and she kind of pushed Autumn to the side.
Well, yeah, I'm curious to know why those people were in such an uproar before and wanted to be all active and everything. And now if you're not hearing a peep out of anybody, it would be good just to get a reach out to them and say, what are they experiencing on this whole business?
You know, a general meeting of all of them.
Yeah, a meeting of the minds. Let's have a picnic. Like I said before, weather's nice. Let's have a cake.
Autumn is still.
I'm gonna reach out to Autumn, Matt. I think it's the next thing to do. Because I don't think we're gonna be able to get what we need to get done through Sally and Amy because they're just busy doing what they do.
Yeah, for sure. I think we need to keep rattling the saber, the people that are involved and interested, and I'd be curious to what other people's experiences are. I'm surprised you're not hearing anything from the other groups.
I thought it was I thought it was too quiet too. Because there was a few people at the meeting that we were at that were extremely vocal about the whole Shapiro changeover. So I can't believe they wouldn't be having a meltdown over this because they didn't even want to send the money to Shapiro.
Well, yeah, I'd be curious if you can get a contact person established over there that can tell you who's experiencing what and how that parallels what we're dealing with, whether they're getting new leases for the people that are trying to renew, whether any of them have a paper lease in hand to begin with, or you know, what's their experience in dealing with this Carla? Have they been contacted by Carla? Are they working with Carla?
You're right. What's going on? Threatened to have a lawyer down on their butts by Carla like Eric did.
Let's talk it up a little bit. And then we should really have another meeting. A community meeting would be the ideal thing. And hell, maybe we can get Winella Pass Brewing to sponsor it or something. If we could get a tap a keg up there at the old Hard Rock and get everybody together.
Yeah,
that would be nice. Okay, well, let me reach out to Adam.
That's the other biggest problem with this, Tammy, is I get these emails with you send me these texts with like 100 people on them. I don't know who any of these people associated with these phone numbers are. Maybe one or two of y'all by name. You know, I haven't really met my neighbors. So
well, we need to get a little to get together for ourselves, I guess, just so people can know who we're dealing with moving forward.
Yeah.
Because we can always do that here on site if somebody wants to fire up a barbecue or something like that.
Oh.
We've got enough room down by the creek, and then we can integrate it into going into the mobile home thing and see what's going on with other people. Because Carrie is mentioning that too.
That's the saddest thing about how this is all going too, because I'm hesitant to put my own grit into trying to tidy up around the place if it's just going to be a shit show in the end. And Well, I'd really like to be raking out that backyard and setting that fire pit up and hanging the
I
hammock and
know.
doing all that, but
Yeah,
it's just, it's discouraging,
I'm with you.
but.
Okay. Well, I won't keep you
What-
too long. I know you're working. I just wanted
No,
to
no.
touch on that, really touch on those things. And Carrie had some things she wanted to bring in, but she's not able to get on video right now. Something about getting hacked, so she couldn't get in Zoom. But
Oh, geez.
apparently she's been looking up the laws about how we should have been notified. Is what's
Yeah.
going on legal now, that type of thing. But I'm just
Well,
thinking we need to get on this complaint.
I meant to ask you to elaborate on what she was saying was going on in her email. She was talking to Carla about she didn't want to pay, or she didn't feel like
Well,
she was
at
properly
first,
approached,
I
and then
guess,
Carla was threatening her.
there's something, I don't know, something personal about her, whatever she owes them. But then
Yes.
she asked Carla if Carla could give her her license number to validate her identity. And then Carla didn't really respond, and then she came back with, hey, I'm still waiting to hear from you, Carrie. And Carrie said, no, I'm waiting to hear from you. And then it kind of got ugly, and then Carla said, well, I don't know you from, like, I shit from Shinola, basically, and I'll just
Yeah.
have my attorney contact you. So Carrie was so heated last night when I talked to her. And then I guess the lady calmed down, or she talked to Zach, and Zach told her, you know, chill out. And she called back and told Carrie, basically, we just need to have a phone call and calm everything down. It's going to be fine.
Yeah, because case in point about this email thing,
Seems
so
to
like
me
we were
like the
talking
owners
about,
don't wanna pay a big management company, excuse me,
Yeah.
a management company anymore. What they wanna do is pay this individual,
To do it.
probably,
And
yeah.
I think she's working out of her home. And the little office that we see in Greenwood Village is basically a post office box for her to get her shit.
Probably should.
well, yeah, that's what I was gonna say. So since the this Empire manager at Empire Junction email doesn't work,
Mhm.
I tell you, she's corresponding now with this one that says, it just says manager at
Empire,
oh gosh, what the thing I just say? Rent here.
one I got says manager, Empire Junction.
Yeah, I'll just say, are they manager at Empire Junction? Are they Novell Communities, or who the hell are they? Because she's given us two different identities. Because on the letter that has the DTC address on it, it says Novell on it. But this sign out here says manager Empire Junction. So who are you, bitch?
Sure. Well, here's what I mean to say is, so her email now is just email@rentmanager.com.
Oh,
If
well,
you go
isn't
to
that just generic enough?
If you go to the website for rentmanager.com, it's just a software. It's just a product that she's using.
Okay. I'll put rentmanager.com down as one of the addresses too.
Email@rentmanager.com is
Right.
the what she's using as Novell Communities.
Oh, boy. Okay,
But then it's bouncing as a reply to email through manager.novellcommunities@gmail.com, which is a private email address.
yeah, and then she told us to look it up, that it's out there. There's nothing out there, Novell Communities, except for an HOA for an apartment complex.
Uh-huh.
And we know that ain't us.
Well, we'll see what happens if she gets back to me with this supposed revised lease, if she does that even.
Okay,
But I think you're right to continue to talk to the people that regulate this at the state level, because I mean, worst case scenario, it could be some kind of an attempt to oust residents and things. If she's gonna try and say here by middle of the month, oh, you didn't pay your rent on time,
that's what I'm concerned about.
or oh, you didn't sign your lease or whatever.
Mhm.
And it's gonna be some BS, you know?
Yeah, so having this complaint file will definitely keep our butts covered on that one.
Yeah, I think so. It's documentation.
Mhm. So I'll respond to the rest of it tonight. Then I'll send minutes out to the people, letting them know what we did. And then suggest maybe getting together to get to know each other so we can figure out what the hell.
Yeah, it'd be good for everybody to get their 2 cents in the hat, and if you know whoever's comfortable, at least anyway, to get to know one another some in the
Mhm.
process. But
Yeah, I don't anticipate much reaction on that, Matt. I'm gonna tell you right now. I have a hard time getting a reaction out of the emails I send out. People are just not
Yeah,
party people
Well-
together here.
All you can do is try, I guess, and let me know what you hear back from Autumn or from whoever it is over there.
Yeah,
that
I can
Lisa-
definitely, I think I will find out some good stuff from Autumn. I'll give her a call. And see
Yeah,
what I
it'd
can
be
come
good
up
to know
with.
just what's happening over there. Are they dealing with this Carla, and are they having the same results?
I don't know, but I haven't talked to Carla because I think I would want to slap the shit out of her, so I'm kind of avoiding talking to her right now from everything I've heard. I'm just like,
Yeah.
I'm the one that's waiting for the portal. I don't care what you say. Hold me accountable. I'm here. I'll pay for it. You give me an electronic way to pay for it, or FBI can come after your ass.
Yeah,
Cause I've had people try to scam me like that before online. I ain't playing with this shit.
No,
And you can't say just because you send an email all of a sudden out of nowhere and be like, I work for Zach, so do this. Like we're gonna just jump and
Yeah.
do it. Bullshit.
yeah, that don't mean nothing.
she would be taking off with thousands and thousands of dollars
Mhm.
if she got everybody.
How do we know that she's not sitting in Nigeria
There's 300 people in there.
and she just cleaned out that post office box when the money come in?
Who knows from who she is, honestly? And
Mhm.
I'm kidding about what I said in the last meeting. She sounded to me just like the lady I talked to from Shapiro. The tone of her voice, the way she carried conversation and things, they sounded real similar.
Well, I
Real
told
simple,
Carrie
real simple.
earlier, what's that game they play in New York with the 3 cups and then you gotta decide which cup is under?
3-card Molly.
Three-card
Yeah.
Monty, yeah.
That's what I feel like is going on here. I feel like, what are we doing? Where am
Yeah,
I
it's a-
supposed to look?
Yeah.
But-
It's a 5-knuckle shuffle for sure.
Okay, well, I'll let you get back to work. I'll finish this letter and get it sent off after we get off the meeting then and reply. And then I'll give Autumn a call and see what I can find out.
All right, sounds good. And if you get solid contact back from the county, from anybody, or gets anything else worth talking about, just let me know. Cause yeah, like I say, I'm still in limbo too. I don't have a new lease product in front of me, and we're coming up on second week of the month now. So-
Mhm. Yeah, and I haven't had a lease since Peter, so.
And in all honesty, not to sound selfish or anything, but I've been trying to get this squared away and sorted out for more than 2 months now and bleed in time. And I got a busy month. I got better things to be doing with my time. And Carla can wait around on me this month as far as that goes. Cause I
That's
just,
what I'm saying.
said,
Ain't nobody in
I've been
hurry
shouting
over
it,
here.
I've been shouting it from the rooftops for 6 to 8 weeks now. I'm like, where's my lease?
That's the way I look at
Mhm.
it. I'm not.
Yeah, and
That's
other
not-
people have been reaching out to her too. It hasn't been just you and nobody's happy with the responses, so there you go.
So, well, hopefully you hear more of the same from abroad. If we could get a few more people on the bandwagon,
On the
that would
complaint
certainly
thing.
speed
Okay.
the cause. Yeah.
Yeah,
Good luck.
have a good night.
You
Talk
too.
to you
You folks
later.
have a good
We'll
night.
see you
I'll
later, Mont.
Okay, take
Take
care,
care.
Matt. Bye-bye now.
Take care,